Hi, Leather Rokk here. Welcome to my channel. I had quite an experience in the ghetto tonight, doing a 3 a.m. 7-Eleven run. And if you want to hear all about it, stay tuned. So, where was I? Oh yeah, it was like 3 a.m. and I had to go to 7-Eleven because I have some avocados and this first one is finally ripe and I wanted to get some of those $2 Santilla tortilla chips that they have at 7-Eleven, and there's two 7-Elevens near me, right? And 7-Eleven, the one great thing about 7-Eleven is they're open 24 hours a day. That's probably the most important thing. So I went out and I'm wearing a long leather uh, coat that goes to my calves, right? So I'm totally covered and I'm wearing a red MAGA hat. And as I got, oh, and they didn't have the chips that I was looking for, so I ended up, and I was looking at this ice cream, and frankly, I can't justify 2 pints that were $3.99 each, and if I got two, though, I could get two for $6, but still, they didn't have what I wanted the most, and I'm thinking, I was thinking about it, and if you ever smoke a little bit of weed, and kind of had the munchies, and we're looking at a display of ice cream, and it's all overpriced, and you don't have your absolute favorite flavor, then you know what I'm talking about. I'm like laboring over it, and I'm thinking about the calories. And so what I ended up getting was 4 chocolate donuts because girl's got to have her chocolate. And you know what? I bet there's more calories in 2 pints of quality ice cream than there are in 4 chocolate donuts. And these are the chocolate with the chocolate coating. They're all chocolate, right? So that's what I got. Oh yeah, and a bag of jalapeno chips. And there was like 4 cops there, and cops always like my MAGA gear. So anyway, I went home, right? But before I could get home, I saw that there was, let me set this whole scenario up for you. There is a stoop next door, and here, let me adjust this some. I walked across the street because I didn't want to stick my key in the door in front of this group of people, young men, and I felt intimidated because they frankly looked like dirtballs. They looked like gangbangers. They look like the kind of people who sell heroin and sell crack and leave needles around and stuff. And I felt intimidated because I'm a woman walking by myself, and there are these 5 big black guys. I'm telling you exactly what it was. And I live in a very interesting part of town, and it's also 24 hours, which is kind of cool in a way, but it also can be very noisy and very disruptive. And if you watch any of my videos for any length of time, you know that occasionally I will throw my window open and I will yell at assholes to please move it on down the road. At 3, 4 in the morning, you shouldn't have people bellying out. But then if half of them are drunk off skunks or whatever, they just have no respect for other people. So between these random idiots that I have to deal with and the downstairs neighbors who are totally hellacious, and there was a guy that actually bothered my mother. Okay, my mother is in her 70s and she was walking on a walker on her way to a doctor's appointment or something, and this big black guy got up in her case and said that I wasn't a nice person. Oh, guess what? What am I supposed to always be a nice person if you're an absolute ghetto piece of trash asshole? If you're the kind of person that throws litter around and makes threats and knows that there's people openly doing absolutely despicable acts like selling this poison that killed the lady Teresa, who I got Cassie the garden cat from. That stuff is going on around me all the time. I've heard gunshot out my window. There's somebody who was stabbed to death last week in the alley. All kinds of things go on here, and I'm not supposed to react. I'm supposed to be a nice person. Well, maybe I'm not a nice person. If you saw the kind of things that I saw and you felt out of place like I did, and I'm sure I'm not alone. I'm sure there's other people that are in places where they really don't belong, where they're there kind of for some kind of convenience, and they're taking care of their family and all that stuff's happening, but still neighborhoods get really weird, sketchy, and after dark things get dangerous. But anyway, I was really not sure how I was going to get in safely, and I don't have a cell phone. And what am I going to do? Wake my roommates up at 3 in the morning or something? I'm not going to be. I wouldn't feel comfortable like that. And I didn't have the key to get in the back way, So I'm thinking, how the heck am I going to get in, right? So think of how I was feeling at this point. Oh, and this person that I had problems with sometimes is going in and out of the alleyway, and I'm outnumbered. There's like 7 people, and I'm one. Do the math. But then, as luck would have it, this young lady, young, whatever, maybe she's around my age, who I had talked to and been friendly with, who was hanging out down the street like a year and a half ago, and she's black. And you know what she did, to her credit? She told the guys that were hanging out in the stoop, chased them off because they didn't live there. You know, I know who lives next door, and it's Spanish-speaking people. If you don't speak Spanish, you don't live there. And why they don't call the police when people hang out there? But nobody wants to make waves. Nobody wants to be a snitch. Okay, but these things are going on around me, and she just chased them off. But the thing is, then she said that I lived there, and then she said my name. It's like, I don't want these dirtballs knowing my name. I don't want people knowing that I live there, because if I'm coming home from a club or something, I don't want somebody, when I'm getting ready to go put my key in the door, if they see me from across the street, they would know that where I was going to try to intercept me. I don't need the problems. I always have to think of my safety. If you're a woman, you know what I'm talking about. Especially in the state of New Jersey, where you're not allowed to carry a handgun for protection unless you're a police officer. We have to depend on calling the cops if we're in some kind of danger. I don't carry a cell phone, so I can't call for help. And by the time help gets you, if somebody wants to kill you, I mean, with the gunshots and different things you hear out the window, you should have heard it an hour ago. My God, some people, some of these women have the biggest mouths, I swear. But anyway, I really appreciate her chasing him off and everything. And she is doing a lot of good things with her life. And I'm not going to get into it, but I admire her a lot. And I'm glad that she stepped in when she did. At one point, this big guy looked like he was going to get in her face. And I was afraid he was going to hit her. And if I was going to witness a man hitting a woman, I was going to have to step in. Because I'm going to, if I don't know you, any other thing about you, I'm going to back up another female, because women are oftentimes there at a disadvantage, and they can be abused by somebody that's bigger and stronger. And it tends to be, but not always, tends to be men. And so I want to look after my sisters, unless somebody has made himself to be an enemy. I'm going to, I want to have their back, even though I certainly wouldn't want to get in a fight. And fortunately, nothing escalated, so it didn't come to that. But, I'm glad I don't drink anymore, because you know how when you drink, you get kind of brave. And all these people that I encounter at nighttime, a lot of them are hopped up on something. I wish it was something mellow like weed, but nah, it's just people get really creepy, and people going in and out, using the alleyways in these areas as public restrooms. It's like casinos are all over. Why don't you duck into a casino? They're open 24 hours. You have to use our streets as a toilet. The sidewalks shouldn't reek. And then, anyway, so many things are going on. And so, anyway, I exchanged digits with her. And then I came back inside. And then I went to the other 7-Eleven, because I was hoping that they would have the Santitas, but they didn't. So then I decided, since I was there, I wasn't going to leave the 7-Eleven empty-handed. So then I got a bag of pretzels. They were the best deal on the pretzels. And I got a bag of barbecue potato chips. Now, what I really love, since we're talking about junk food, is Lay's makes a potato chip flavor called Limon that is lime flavored. And the only time I find it is there's this one Mexican market that sells it in like these tiny ass little bags. Okay, they're 50 cents, but they're still little bags. It's like, why can't I get a really big bag of it? Do I have to? I'll send away to Mexico for it. I don't care. I would get a case of them. I mean, I'm sorry, they are that good. I'd like to think I'm a connoisseur of potato chips. Even though I try to eat healthy, I love vegetables. I pigged out on sweet potatoes tonight, and a baked chicken thigh, by the way, with a nice barbecue sauce rub. But I like sweet potatoes. I like healthy food. I do like my junk food, and I've been good. I haven't had junk food for like a month, because I'm really trying to watch my money. But you know, 7-Eleven is great when you want your late night junk food fix. But these people around here. Oh yeah, and then when I got it was in the second 7-Eleven, there was this guy that was trying to get me to help him using something with a card he had or something. It seemed like, I mean, I had no way of knowing whether he was an undercover cop trying to set me up, or it was an act of fraud, or it was a stolen card or something. I said, I'm sorry, I don't know exactly what your situation is, but I don't want to get involved, because in case it sounds like it's something illegal, I don't want to get involved with illegal things. I have no way of knowing if somebody isn't filming this. I don't want to get caught up in any kind of scandal. I'm not looking for trouble. I'm just looking for some potato chips, okay? So get somebody else to help you. And he was so pissed off. And he was like following me around in the 7-Eleven. He was like this little shrimpy guy. And he was just being really pushy. And I don't like people being pushy anyway. I don't like salespeople that are pushy. I don't like people basically being, it's like, give me my space, please. You know, but I was glad that he left. And then something else happened that the police were called because somebody had to be thrown out. Somebody was doing something up near the cash register. But of course, I didn't know that because I was nowhere near there because I was still looking for something, chips or something, which I ended up getting. But anyway, and fortunately for the rest of my, getting home and everything, it was uneventful and I didn't run into any weirdos or bad people. But I was just glad that I got my key in the door. I said, you know, uh, I tried to not go overboard with, I had one donut and that's it. I said, let me maybe inhale a tiny little bit, a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit, and put it in this, just a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit. It's all you need when it's good. And, I like to burn incense. There is this stuff, have you heard of it? Called copal. It's from Mexico. It's a resin incense. And you put it on charcoal that you bake in a small, real little piece. And copal is in hard little chunks that probably look like something evil, but they're not. You put them on the burning charcoal. They make a really great fragrance. And I also have frankincense. I have myrrh also, but myrrh doesn't get a real sweet smell. And the frankincense, it starts off real kind of church incensey or a synagogue incensey. But then after it stays on the charcoal for a while, it starts to being kind of a burning smell, and then it's good to take it off. So anyway, I like to burn things like that because they just make the room smell real nice, and they don't seem to bother the cats any. And that way it keeps neighbors from getting an idea of what I'm doing when I, inhale the marijuana. So, and if any time there's ever a night when I'm actually stressed out and I am using it to chill out because of weird incident, it is tonight. I'm really glad that lady was there. If she wasn't there, I don't know how I would have handled it because I'm sure I would have just said, you know what, fuck it, and just you put on this imaginary armor and I'm just gonna, go in and stick my key in the door. But I don't like people getting in my business. I don't like that she went and said my name out loud. I don't like the dirtballs know my name because there's a chance, okay, maybe they might just be drugged out and forget. But my name is not like Jane Doe or something. If they remember, I don't want people knowing, oh, that bitch, she's got a bad attitude. Her name is Leather Rock, and which is true, right? But I don't want to have a bigger target on me than I already do. I'm a white girl in the ghetto. I wear Trump shit. I don't want problems. You know. So anyway, I'm home safe. I'm going to try not to overdo it on the junk food. And I'm glad that I have this venting platform to talk about. And there's so much more as far as details that I could have said, but I don't want to say too much. I don't want to be stupid. But yeah, there's always challenges when you live in the inner city and when you walk alone and you're dealing with sketchy people. And it makes, though, if there's an underlying theme to this, it's good to be able to befriend people of all walks of life. I noticed even when I lived in Hollywood, there was people I always made my way, my mission to be kind to people unless they gave me an absolute reason not to. Doesn't mean I trusted you. I mean, trust is something that has to be earned, but to try to treat people with respect, try to treat people the way I would want to be treated. And then occasionally you would find that even the most dirtball type people would actually have your back, and you'd feel like if I have to be waiting for the light to change at 3 a.m. in Hollywood, because in LA you can't jaywalk because they don't care, they give you tickets. That's really stupid, annoying thing. That almost everybody always stands at the light. So it's nice to know that people kind of have your back, and if you think that you're in a vulnerable position, people will be there and protect you, and that's a really good thing. So with that thought, my name is Leather Rock. If you've never been on my channel before, I would love to have you subscribe. Before you do, though, give this video a thumbs up. That tells YouTube the robot that makes YouTube work, that you like the video and so more people get to see it. And if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the bell notification when it looks like it's vibrating, then you get to see my videos, and I make 3 new ones a week for your viewing pleasure. And until then, have a good day now. Bye.